Bitcoin dumps as Donald Trump and Elon Musk battle on social media. I'll share the charts with you and where I think things are going. We're still in the bull market. I'll highlight why. And Circle has officially gone public. I'll share what Jeremy O'Leary and the folks at Circle had to say about this news. And the Trump companies have made moves with their adoption of crypto with new filings and much more. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, Bitcoin are currently sitting at $101,912. Pulling back. But despite the pseudo black swan event, if you want to call it that, right? Because I don't think it's a true black swan event where you have Elon Musk and the president, Donald Trump, fighting. Obviously, many of you have probably seen the headlines, seen the news. It's pretty crazy. It's getting wild. I don't think anyone expected that. So once again, a kind of a pseudo black swan event, but we've been tracking the charts with Bitcoin and anticipating more downside. I literally said to you guys on multiple episodes that Bitcoin could go down and test 98K, and I think it will. Right now, the daily RSI is in a downtrend, and I think it's going to go to the oversold zone. We've seen this time and time again, and what's going to happen? Consolidation and then reversal. So we got to be patient, let Bitcoin do its thing here. There has been no invalidation of the bull market. We're still holding the key support levels, and Bitcoin clearly is still above the 200-day moving average. So I think we're going to find a bottom maybe in the next week or so. Let's see how things play out. Obviously, you got this macro uncertainty with Elon and the president playing out, and the world's richest man and the most powerful man in the world, Donald Trump, battling it out. And it's about the government spending bill, right? And much more. But I think the markets are going to react with based on this uncertainty, as they always do. But it doesn't mean the bull market's over. These things can happen, just like we saw with the tariff uncertainty, and then we did a V-shaped recovery out of that, right? So we need Bitcoin to continue to find the strength here, and then altcoins are going to follow, because I know many of you are waiting for alt season, but you got to understand what's happening here. But we're seeing liquidations, of course. So a lot of longs are getting liquidated. There has been over 285 million liquidated in the crypto market today, possibly more by now. But however, global liquidity, the macro metric we've been tracking, continues to rise. Bitcoin's following it. And of course, eventually altcoins and even the stock market and much more is going to catch up. So we got to be patient and let this thing play out. Now, Eleanor Tarrant is reporting the following. In a notable display of unity, 8 of the biggest crypto policy organizations in Washington, D.C. have issued a joint statement calling on Congress to include the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act in the market structure legislation. Now, this was the bill that was put together by Congressman Tom Emmer and Congressman Richie Torres. One is a Republican, the other is a Democrat. So you get a bipartisan support there. So the groups, DeFi Education Fund, Coin Center, Solana Institute, the Digital Chamber, Blockchain Association, the Crypto Council, and many others, say the amendment is essential to protecting software developers and infrastructure providers who do not custody customer funds. The amendment, originally introduced by Congressman Emmer and now with bipartisan support from Richie Torres, is being viewed by many in the industry as a foundational policy safeguard for DeFi developers. The joint statement urges lawmakers to include the BRCA in the Clarity Act, the House's Digital Asset Market Structure Bill, which is expected to be marked up next week. So I love this because this bill is legit. I remember reporting it to you guys, and it hasn't gotten that much attention, but I'm glad the industry is now saying, hey, this needs to be included in the bill. And, per Eleanor, there's going to be the House markup on the Clarity Act and nomination of hearing for Brian Contends next week. Also Monday, the SEC will have their final crypto industry roundtable, and it's going to focus on DeFi. So things are moving ahead. And folks, we are still in a bull market. You're seeing not only the charts and the macro tell you this, but just the activities in the industry, what the government's doing for crypto. We've never seen this type of environment for crypto. We've never seen Congress focus on crypto legislation as they are now. So everything's moving in the right direction. It will all culminate to higher prices. The question is, are you going to be patient enough, right? Because this is not going to the casino. This is not playing the lottery. You got to be patient. If you're getting impatient, go study what Warren Buffett has said about investing, and that should help you to have a broader perspective. Now, today, Circle went public on the New York Stock Exchange. This is an incredible historic day. The first stablecoin company to do so. Obviously, the big IPO that happened in the 2020-2021 bull market was Coinbase. This doesn't have the same type of appeal because it's like Coinbase was the largest exchange. It was the first crypto company to do an IPO. So this is coming in, after, right? So it's not going to have the same type of momentum. There's going to be people saying, "Hey, that's it. The top of the market is in. Look at the IPO," but the sentiment's not there, right? The on-chain data doesn't align with that. Global liquidity doesn't align with the top of the market. So you have to put all these things in context. I've often said you can't just focus on one set of data. You got to look at the entire picture, because if you put your blinders on, you're going to miss key factors that affect markets. But incredible win for Circle. And as stablecoin legislation is on the horizon to be passed, and the U.S. pushing U.S. dollar stablecoins, which will help preserve the world reserve currency status of the U.S. dollar, I think this is all going to work out very well for Circle. So huge news. I'll read a little bit of what Jeremy Allaire, the co-founder and CEO of Circle, had to say. He says, "I'm incredibly proud and thrilled to share that Circle is now a public company listed on the New York Stock Exchange under CRCL. 12 years ago, we set out to build a company that could help remake the global economic system by reimagining and rebuilding it from the ground up natively on the internet. Our mission to raise global economic prosperity through the frictionless exchange of value has animated our work ever since. When we founded the company, I told every employee and every investor that this was a multi-decade opportunity and that I sought to build a deeply lasting internet technology platform. Now, just over a decade in, we are just starting to realize our early vision." Now, he continues, but I don't want to read everything to you guys. You can go read up yourself. But I think this is a huge milestone, folks. The first stablecoin company to go public, and certainly not the last. We're going to see more crypto companies go public. And this type of activity only happens in a bull market. No one goes public in a bear market. So please understand this signal here and where we're at in the cycle. Now, the price of CRCL was surging today, as expected. It kicked off at $31 or so. It surged to over $104. At some point, they had to halt trading, which is crazy. Now, I tweeted out about this, that I told people, don't go chasing these green candles. You're going to get wrecked. Wait for the blood on the streets. Wait for the corrections, right? I'll let you guys know if I'm buying the stock. Right now, I'm just waiting for it to cool down. There's no point, unless you're an insider and you had equity and all that stuff, right? You're going to get wrecked. And for you to go buy it at this peak price, your probability of making some money in the short time frame is not great. So, maybe the opportunity is not there, but when the bloody bear market comes, you know what I'm going to do, folks? I'm going to back up the truck, right? Now, obviously, I need to do my research, make sure everything is good. But, one could argue that if this downtrend in the markets because of this uncertainty with, Trump and Elon and all that continues, and even Circle maybe in the next week starts dumping a bit, and you have stablecoin legislation later this year, I may look to buy some, do a little quick swing trade, if you get what I'm saying. But I ain't buying no green candle. I hope at least that's one thing you can learn from this podcast. If you haven't learned anything else, that we don't buy pumps, guys. We buy blood on the streets, fear, blood, depression, right? That is when we buy, folks. It is what it is. Bob Lucas says here, careful chasing it, talking about the Circle stock. I remember Coinbase hit $430 first day and closed the day $330-ish. So if you look at the Circle chart right now, it's trading at $83. So once again, went up to 104, cool down. Let's see where it goes from here. I'm not saying it can't go up, but usually if you're jumping in the first day, you're not in a great position, because even if it cools down, who knows how long it takes to get back or break that price it hit. All right. So these are things you need to think about. Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer one blockchains out there. Many enterprises are building on VeChain, and they're building Web3 and sustainability applications. I'm a VET token holder. I have been since 2018. I'm very bullish on this project. And some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes it's secure, affordable, scalable, fast, and sustainable. Some of the brands building on VeChain include BMW, Walmart China, PwC, Boston Consulting Group, even Dana White and the UFC are partnered with VeChain to do some rewards programs for people living healthy, doing things to help clean up the environment and much more. So VeChain is doing a lot of great stuff. Like I said, I'm a VET token holder. I have been for a long time. I'm bullish on this project. So if you'd like to learn more, please visit the link in the description. Now, folks, we know Trump's companies are getting all in on crypto, launching a Bitcoin ETF. They're looking to do a Bitcoin corporate treasury. So here we have an update that Trump Media officially files an S3 registration statement with the SEC for its $2.3 billion Bitcoin treasury deal. So as we had reported earlier this week that they raised $2.3 billion to buy the Bitcoin, and now they're filing with the SEC to do it. So they are moving forward, and they even dropped their prospectus for the Truth Social Bitcoin ETF. So things are moving ahead, guys. It's very fascinating. James Seyfert shared the details, and Eric Balchunas of Bloomberg weighed in saying under the risk section, there's one for the regulatory uncertainty / headwinds, which includes how President Trump launched crypto task force and Bitcoin strategic reserve. Pretty sure the first time ever the advisors is in the risk section. It's all so surreal. So this is just fascinating, guys. It's amazing. Once again, I don't necessarily have a problem with this if his businesses are doing it because these assets are in the open market. What I don't like is the meme coin. And many of you know I've been on record. I don't believe any president should have anything like that. That is the thing I don't really like. Just because the nature of meme coins, the manipulation, it's very pump and dumpish, right? The meme coins don't actually serve a purpose. You know, for example, Bitcoin, if they're going to launch a Bitcoin ETF, they have to go buy the Bitcoin from the open market, and they don't control the majority of supply, right? It's very different. And even in the Bitcoin treasury deal, they raise capital and they have investors and they have to go buy the Bitcoin. So it's completely different. The meme coin stuff, not a fan at all. Look at this. Romania's largest postal services operator, Posta Romana, to install Bitcoin and crypto terminals. On and off ramps being built globally. The largest institutions in the world, banks and much more, stock exchanges and so forth around the globe are adopting crypto. So I hope you see where things are headed, folks, and why you have to be patient and have a macro outlook on this market. We're still relatively early compared to other asset classes. I know some of you may feel, oh man, I'm kind of late and so forth, but remember, these assets are part of a truly global market. There's never been a truly global market that's trading real time on the internet, borderless and all those things. And many of these coins are hard caps. So you have this incredible supply and demand effect, and it becomes kind of an exponential rise that happens with these assets. So with crypto legislation coming in, with governments and all these institutions coming in, we're going to see prices like we've never seen before. But as I said earlier, you got to be patient. You got to be able to stomach the roller coaster ride. This is part of the journey of being able to get those quick gains, because it's like a pendulum. When that pendulum swings high, nothing can compare to it. But when it swings back down, same thing, right? Even the stock market doesn't move like that and so forth. But this is where we want to catch that pendulum as it rises. And it's going to happen just like we saw in Q4, right? With the run up with Bitcoin and many altcoins. And I know some people are waiting for certain other types of altcoins to run, but the full liquidity is not there. We're not in the full euphoria, blow off top. It seems like it's never going to end. That's going to come. And it's going to be euphoric, but that's where you want to be looking to exit the market, right? We don't want to be part of the dumb money crowd buying at that point. We want to, like I've been saying, when the bear market comes, buy the blood, fear, depression. So just be prepared, have your profit taking plan, and let's sit back and watch the adoption, watch the macro signals, the different on-chain metrics and the charts and much more, and be prepared, folks. All right, folks, let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Be sure to check out my newsletter on Substack. It's 100% free. Link will be in the description. Also, check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. So if you'd like to learn more, visit mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.